Let me start, though, with France, or more particularly with Malcolm Turnbull's little mate, the French President Emmanuel Macron. This bloke is still banging on about how Australia pulled out of the dud deal he did with Turnbull to build a yet-to-be-designed diesel version of the French nuclear submarines. I mean, sure, Turnbull never should have done this deal, but thank God Scott Morrison pulled out of it. And instead of buying dud subs from a country that tested nuclear bombs in the Pacific, we're on track to get nuclear submarines from one of our two great alliance partners, the US or the UK. But have a listen to Macron still smarting, still denigrating Australia, and also giving us a little hint of that renowned French strategic courage by suggesting nobody should upset China.
We were helping and accompanying Australia in building a submarine fleet in-house, an industrial cooperation. So it was both industrial cooperation and giving sovereignty to Australia because they will maintain the submarines themselves. And it was not confrontational to China because they were not nuclear-powered submarines. But the choice made by Prime Minister Morrison was the opposite, re-entering into nuclear confrontation, making himself completely dependent by deciding to equip Australia's submarine fleet that the Australians are incapable of producing and maintaining in-house.
Sacre bleu. How about that? The French president reckons we should build his submarines because they are the ones that don't worry China. Does nobody pick the flaw in that logic? I mean, why don't we make China really happy and just not build any subs at all? Thankfully, the Albanese Labor government is having none of this, despite calls from Macron for us to reconsider. Defence Minister Richard Marles was clear and strong on the AUKUS deal in a major speech this week, and the Prime Minister emphasised the point from Bangkok today.
I think President Macron answered that question when he noted Australia has not decided to change their strategy on the subject. He noted it himself in the discussion. Richard Marles, as the Defence Minister, has noted it. We are proceeding with the AUKUS arrangements. There's nothing ambiguous about it. That is our position.
Presumably, President Macron is now off to Beijing and Moscow to ask the Chinese and the Russians what military hardware they would prefer France to build.